Look at your hand right now. Doesn't matter what shade it is. That color you're looking at, it wasn't random, and it wasn't always there. Every single human being on this planet, every shade, every tone, descends from the exact same dark-skinned ancestors. No exceptions. So somewhere along the way, something changed. And it wasn't gentle. This is a story about a hidden nutrient that could kill you before you even knew you were sick. About a sun that got weaker the further you walked from it. About a 10,000-year-old skeleton that broke every assumption we had about what ancient European was even supposed to look like. So here's the real question. If we all started the same color, what actually caused this? Around 300,000 years ago, our species was born in Africa, sitting almost directly under the equator, the part of the planet that receives the most direct, most relentless, ultraviolet radiation on Earth. And under that kind of sun, dark skin wasn't a preference, it was survival equipment. Dark skin is rich in melanin, a natural pigment that acts like an internal umbrella, absorbing and scattering ultraviolet radiation before it can reach deeper, more vulnerable layers of the body. So the very first humans, every one of them, had this built-in defense. Which raises an uncomfortable question. If dark skin was the winning formula, why does most of the planet not have it anymore? Here's the part most people never learn in school. Your skin isn't just a cover, it's a solar panel, a living, working factory. Every time UV light hits it, your skin uses that energy to manufacture vitamin D, a nutrient your body cannot make any other way, and one that's essential for absorbing calcium, building bone, and keeping your immune system online. And this is where the trade-off begins. Melanin protects you from UV damage, but it also blocks some of the very same light your body needs to make vitamin D. Near the equator, that's not a problem. There's so much sun, your body still makes plenty of vitamin D even with heavy melanin protection. But humans didn't stay near the equator. Before we follow that migration, we need to talk about folate, a B vitamin your body needs for almost everything, producing new cells, repairing DNA, and critically developing a healthy fetus during pregnancy. Here's the danger. Intense ultraviolet light doesn't just tan skin. It can break down folate in the bloodstream almost as fast as the body produces it. Low folate during pregnancy is linked to severe neural defects in developing embryos. Under a punishing equatorial sun, unprotected skin wasn't just a cosmetic issue, it was a direct threat to whether the next generation survived at all. So dark skin wasn't only blocking sunburn, it was protecting something far more fundamental, the ability to reproduce successfully at all. Two invisible pressures pulling in opposite directions. And that tension is about to travel across an entire planet. Around 70,000 years ago, groups of humans began walking out of Africa, first into the Middle East, then fanning out across Europe and Asia. And the further north they walked, the weaker and more indirect the sunlight became. At higher latitudes, UV radiation doesn't just decrease, it hits the skin at a shallower angle, spread across months of cloud cover, short winter days, and thick clothing worn simply to survive the cold. The same dark skin that had been a life-saving shield near the equator was suddenly working against its owners, because now that same melanin was blocking a sun that was already too weak to give enough vitamin D in the first place. Picture Ice Age Europe, short days, endless overcast skies, and a sun that barely climbs above the horizon for months at a time. Populations with heavy melanin in that environment faced chronic vitamin D deficiency, weaker bones, weakened immunity, lower reproductive success over generations. And this is where natural selection quietly goes to work. It isn't a decision anyone makes. It's a slow filter. Individuals who happen to carry gene variants for lighter skin absorb just enough extra UV to keep making sufficient vitamin D, and they simply survived and reproduced, slightly more often than those who didn't. Repeat that pattern for hundreds of generations, and an entire population's skin tone can shift dramatically, not through choice, but through accumulated survival math. This is the real trade-off hiding underneath every human skin tone on Earth. Too much melanin in a low sun environment risks vitamin D deficiency. Too little melanin in a high sun environment risks folate breakdown and skin cancer. And if you look at a world map of UV intensity and lay it next to a map of traditional skin tone distribution before recent mass migration, the two maps line up with striking precision. Skin color across the entire species tracks sunlight almost like a dial, not a hierarchy, not a ranking, a calibration. In 1903, a roughly 10,000-year-old human skeleton was discovered in a cave in Cheddar Gorge, England. Scientists nicknamed him Cheddar Man. For over a century, most assumptions pictured ancient Britons as pale-skinned. But in 2018, a full genetic analysis of Cheddar Man's DNA revealed something that stunned researchers. Cheddar Man had dark to black skin and strikingly blue eyes. A combination that, at the time, didn't fit the story most people assumed about European ancestry at all. The genes for lighter skin hadn't even become widespread in that part of Europe yet, even though humans had already been living there for thousands of years by then. Which means this shift wasn't a single event. It was a process still unfolding, one slow generation at a time, thousands of years after humans had already settled in the north. The story doesn't end there. Around the same period, agriculture was spreading across Europe, and diets shifted away from vitamin D-rich foods like fish and wild game toward grains. With less vitamin D coming from food, the pressure for skin to produce more of it through sunlight increased even further, accelerating the shift toward lighter skin tones in northern populations over the next several thousand years. Piece by piece, sun, diet, migration, and genetics all pushed in the same direction, until the modern range of human skin tones settled roughly into the pattern we recognize today. So skin color was never about superiority. It was never a hierarchy, and it definitely wasn't a coincidence. It was a negotiation between a star 93 million miles away and a body trying to survive under it. Every shade on Earth today is simply a different answer to the exact same question, asked by the exact same star, at a different point on the map. Not to give you answers, to reveal the paradox. Every question has a story. Welcome to human mystery.